Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Azizan. Number matrix 200959 Okay, and today we will present about violence against children on Islam perspective. Okay, violence against children refer to physical, sexual, emotional, neglectful abuse. And there are many factors that cause child abuse, including stress and emotional influence. Islam has commanded all its followers to love one another, especially their children. This research aims to examine about violence against children on Islam perspective.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Asfa bin Azhar and my ID number is 2020 7394 and 33. Next is literature review. Okay, as a summarize of what I'm writing in my literature review is our title is Child Abuse Cases based on Sustainable Development Goals number 16, Justice, Peace and Strong Institution. And other than that is about parent responsible in Islam and principle of Islam parenting. Next is methodology. There are three methods that we are used. Okay, firstly is online library researchers. Second is the internet, and the last one is online group discussion. For example, is Microsoft Team and Google Meet.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lokman Hakim bin Abdul Kadir. My number metric 2020959721. Today, I want to present about the problem statement, which is about violence against the children in Islam perspective. Another, I will give you about our objective of research, and lastly, findings and discussion to gadget card to children. By the way, the first thing about the problem statement is problem that's acute with child violence often occur in the household. The problem statement will find the solution of this problem, because this problem also due to the lack of love from their parents, and kid often neglecting their responsibilities. The duty as a parent to his child is to give good encouragement so that they will become good people. I give you some example of violence against child, like physical, their emotional abuse and sexual. Many of parents who commit violence against their children, like sexual abuse and emotional, they do not appreciate gift of children of Allah. The impact on the child will be very critical because it will abuse their emotional. Some children are unable to withstand from pressure, and they will make the wrong decision, which is self-destructive. I will put some the WHO statement in May 2019, who plan of action to make some system for health to save our child from violence. Within in Malaysia also has child abuse, and the case is still less compared to the rest of the world. Okay, let's go to the objective of research. The objectives, I will give some objective. Some objectives is this research was able to identify the cause of violence and against children, or we call as abuse against children either at school, higher education institutions, or home. These research can increase our knowledge of the way parents think of abusing their own children and realize our dreams to curb the symptoms of child abuse. Another, the research also made a few way to of research cases for this problem and make a decision to solve or give some tips to reduce our violence against children on Islam perspective.
Okay, let's move to the findings and discussion. 1.0 Child abuse. Child abuse is an act that hurts child, whether physically, emotionally, sexually, and neglectfully. First, this physical abuse is abuse that causes injury to the child's limb. This physical abuse including such as punching, slapping, stabbing, throwing, and or anything that causes injury to the child's body. Second is emotional abuse is an act that causes a child emotions to be disturbed. Example of emotional abuse are embarrassment, mockery, and contempt. Usually, emotional abuse will come along with other type abuse such as physical, sexual, and neglect. Sexual abuse is the act of an individual seeking satisfaction by forcing a child to engage in sexual activity. Example are prostitution and rape. This can cause child to be traumatized and will interfere with the child's personality. This sexual abuse can be happen anywhere and even family members themselves do it. Child's neglect is the failure of parents of or guardians to ensure the safety of children. This neglect is like parents not providing basic necessities such as a food, healthcare, and education to children. In Islam, children should be loved with love because it is blessing and gift to every couple who has children. Islam forbids people to oppress children as Allah SWT say in Surah Al-Isra verse 31, and do not kill your children for fear for poverty, we will provide them and for you. Indeed, killing them is a great sin. Based on this verse, it is clear that the children are a trust that need to be taken care of and nature that has been bestowed by Allah SWT to every parent who has children. Allah SWT say about children in Surah An-Nisa verse 9, and let those who fear their children leave behind them whom they fear. Therefore, let them fear Allah and let them speak the truth. And based on all the verse of Al-Quran that have been quoted, it is clear that the abuse of children in the Islam is strongly opposed, and all children rights that they deserve shall be fought for. Every children deserve the love they deserve, and let us not neglect them. Every parent who has children must take care of and love them as Islam has taught. This is because every child is a gift from Allah SWT. Thank you.
So next, the main highlight is about parent responsibility in Islam. So what is the parent responsibility in Islam, and it is important for parent to know their responsibility? The answer is, in Islam, parents are responsible for their child good life and well-being as they are amanah to them and will of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Yet in the most cases, parents do not pay proper attention to their children right, and they are not aware of their responsibility to them. As a result, parents cannot play their good role to their children properly, which have a negative impact for the both side. And awareness of parent responsibility very important, because once they knowing their responsibility, they become a good parent. Other than that, they will treat their children or teach their children in the good way and not abusing their children. Besides, there are some parents they are use a very strict rules or heavy punishment to their child without realize that they already abusing their own child. Next slide is about principle of Islamic parenting. There are 5 points that I will share to you. Okay, first point is role model to children. Okay, when teaching children, parents should remember that child often learn from example. The example of parent played a very important role in bringing up the child. Parents who want their child to be religious, honest, and disciplined, they must be the first one to be the religious, honest, and disciplined. Second point is moral education. As a Muslim, we have to teach our children about giving a good moral conduct and good manners. The respect parents instill in their children will help them become respectable, responsible, kind, friendly, obedient, humble, honorable children. As a good parent, you should not let the society do the upbringing of your child. The Prophet Muhammad SAW has stated that no father can give you his child anything better than a good manner. Third point is right to educated. parents should send their children to madrasah or what we call school to give the child guidance to be a good Muslim. They should make sure the child know how to read Al-Quran and Hadith and have a good knowledge of the Islam so they can be a better person in the future. Okay, fourth point is about religious education. Okay, parents should teach their children about the oneness command of Allah. You have not done justice to parenthood if you are just teaching them about gaining the world thing. You have to teach them about the hereafter too. The best time to teach your child about Allah in His book when they are young and tender. The best so uh, they will be a good person in future. Without religious education, the child will never to love Allah and fear Allah. Okay, last point is right of disciplining. Parents have a right to discipline or punish their children, but there is a way. We all know that when our child that young age is the most suitable for right their behavior and manner, but there is a way. Next slide is about important information before disciplining a child. There is 3 points. Okay, first point is refrain from becoming a detector. Detector mean is like when I said A is A. Don't ask a reason why. So, we must make them do the good thing because they love to do it. It's not because they fear of us to do the good thing. Second point is be in control of yourself when disciplining. Sometimes parents go overboard in their attempt to discipline. The home become a military camp with a strict rules or heavy punishment. Physical force and nagging should be avoided by family. Okay, and harsh disciplining could lead the child become despair. So, uh, strict rules should be avoided. Last point is allow child to make a amend. When children is normal for making a mistake, so allow them to make amend or let them apologize of what they have done. Don't punish them. Give them time to be a better person in the future. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I will go to the finding and discussion. The finding in discussion is about gadget guide to children, because during the education of the motion control command, and we call as a MCO, most students surf the internet using mobile phones to get right off their border during the implementation of this MCO. Nowadays, many parents to his children for using the mobile phone, or we call as gadget. Because a father who encouraged his son to be devout to him. The words of the Prophet Muhammad says that had the child of from he did not disobey his father because the evils of his daily actions. A child needs to be educated from an early age so that they become more useful in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Alright, in conclusion, every child in this world should be given an education based on good things. So every parent should use positive values in children who need them to be good human beings and be an example to the next generation. Things that are negative and not beneficial should be kept away from children who do not need them completion. They are still in the learning process. Islam has provided guidelines for educating and caring for children. This clearly shows that Islam emphasizes everything that can be used for mankind toward the right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.